session, again, all about how to choose your crypto wallet.
Hi everyone, and thank you very much for joining us. I know it's 5 o'clock, but we have not finished all the interesting content that we want to share with you, and it's interesting to hear your opinions about, for me, a very obvious subject: how to choose your wallet. Now, I'm sitting here with my colleagues who are absolutely industry professionals, and it's interesting to see, for example, Vanina's point of view, who's a marketing specialist on how to actually pick your wallet, actually talking about your own products. And I would like to also encourage the audience to ask us some questions, to think about through the whole panel. How would you personally choose the wallet where you trust your digital assets, and what is the important parts for you? So maybe we can jump in. What do you think? What is the main problem now with the wallets, and how your products or your company can overcome that, and obviously, how to choose the best wallet? So maybe we can start with you.
The thing is, the problem with most existing EOA wallets, externally owned account wallets, like MetaMask and likes, is that they suck. They simply suck. They provide you bad UX. They do not do enough to communicate with you what are the actions that you're performing with your wallet. They don't do enough to protect you from yourself and from malicious players in the market. And I think there was a panel on scanning as well, so you probably know that there's a lot of those. The thing is, when choosing the wallet, that wallet in Web3 becomes your identity, like that becomes your Web3 version of your email address. So it's incredibly important to choose a wallet that is, first of all, easy to use. It's available cross-platform. It is secure enough for you to use, and it just makes you happy, I guess.
How can you represent Binance, which is an obvious choice for wallet, but still say a couple of words about it?
At Binance, we have the third-party custody wallet, which is, of course, the wallet that you have in the exchange. We have the Trust wallet, which is a hot wallet that's offered in your browser or in your phone application. And we recently have also like a partnership with an old wallet application, Ledger, that allows users to top up their Ledger accounts in the desktop Ledger view through Binance. So what we notice is that the user-friendly solution is the winner one most of the cases. That's
user experience is always a key.
Exactly.
Nikolai.
Hey guys, I want to get a step back and involve the audience. So I'll ask a few questions if you can participate with us, because it's a panel, so everybody here participates. So how many of you have only a single wallet, right? Only a single wallet? Raise a hand. Almost nobody, like probably 10 people. How many of you have multiple wallets, like different? Okay, we can see the difference. So one more question: how many of you have different wallets for the reasons of like different wallets giving you different things, right? Different stuff. Okay, maybe half of the people that raise the hand. So in the end, like it currently makes sense to have different wallets for different things, right? You have different wallets for either to separate your security, right? Let's say you have your loyalty, you have your rare NFTs in some ledger, your main portfolio balance in some ledger somewhere stored, while your day-to-day trading activity requires some money that it's probably somewhere else where you interact every day and stuff like that. And when you come to a conference like this one, you cannot really showcase your NFTs and prove that they're yours without bringing your ledger, right? Which is a security problem in the end. So, so one of the ideas that we build and goes on top of what Vanina said is that in the end your wallet is your identity, your account, it's yourself, right? So you shouldn't have like 10 separate yourselves, how they say it. So in the end, like there is technology that allows you to have a single wallet that gives you everything, but in the end it's controlled by multiple wallets, so you can still have your 10 different wallets, keep your security, but you can control your identity and showcase to the people even here with your normal day-to-day wallet that you actually own the NFTs, that you actually have this big portfolio. Right?
I think we're so early in the game that the quote of Henry Ford applies here. So if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said the faster horse. Our approach at Swaypay for this is actually we started to learn a lot about traditional finance. So as long as a field is already vetted and it works for such a long period of time, we said why not start with buying a bank. So we are acquiring a brick and mortar bank, and we do this why? Because it relates also to the bridging Web 2, 2.5 and Web 3. So we said why not acquire a brick and mortar bank, change the whole flows into Web 3 flows, have a Web 3 infrastructure. We've discussed with regulators, for 3 years only on the regulatory side. We did this, we have a super app. I think this is it's very hyped and everybody says super app when it's about Web3. So we connected the two and we see assets as something which shouldn't be split into crypto or fiat. So you have everything in one place. You have your crypto there, you have your fiat there, you have your deposit accounts, you have TradFi, you have DeFi, and you can also plug in your already existing bank accounts. So you can have your Romanian bank accounts, European bank accounts there. So to have it all in one place. We started with this. This is part of the customer development journey we had with our users.
To start with, I would say that that's a question that's pretty personal, so there will be a lot of personal points of views. You might find yourself at odds with things that we will say, and so on. Depending on your level of understanding, technical knowledge, etc., we might say things that stick to the basics, but maybe we'll try to get deeper and deeper as the discussion unfolds. So, first, I would say to choose a wallet, you have to know a bit about yourself, what type of investor you are, and you can be different types of investors at the same time. Meaning that if you have assets that you're comfortable with, like keeping it for a decade or even longer, I would not imagine going for anything else but non-custodial, especially since all the information, all the black swan events that we've seen unfold this year, the previous year. So yeah, that would be, for example, if you're this type of investors who's only aiming at the long term, like definitely non-custodial, cold wallet, where your private key never was shown anywhere on the internet is the way to go. Then let's say you're this type of investor who is trading a lot or who is trying smart contracts because you want to be on edge with what is being done, like the latest innovations and so on. Then you will need a hot wallet, definitely, in terms of managing your fees, managing the speed at which you can actually buy and sell some tokens, etc. In this case, having a custodial wallet is not something that's out of mind. It's a type of use case where it's actually sensible to have it. You can also have, for example, in this case with a hot wallet, you can have more or less used wallets, meaning that you can have wallets dedicated to just trying smart contracts. You can have wallets dedicated to trading certain types of assets. You can use wallets that are specific to certain assets because these companies, these projects develop their own wallet and you want to be native to the project. I'm thinking about Ton right now, for example. They have their own wallet and you can, like if you want to trade some Ton, you might want to go there because it's like the place where it will be the most handy to go and do it and so on. So in the end, you have to know more about yourself than what we're speaking of to start with as a starting point. Then I would say, if securities and it should be, security is a concern for you and it should be, especially if you're a new investor, because what we've seen, for example, for a long time as crypto exchanges, and I'm sure is the case also at Binance, is that ease of use primes security in many cases, which should not be the case, but it is in fact. So you should look at, for example, if you're going custodial, you should look at some custodial that's allowing for double authentication. That's like first and foremost. If there is not double authentication factor, like that's not safe enough, definitely. Then what could we have? Like having a multi-sig wallet, having your custodial taking your assets in cold storage should also be a must, because then you know that you can rely on it to be safer than if your custodial keeps all the assets on hot wallets. And at KuCoin, that's actually what we do. We keep most of the assets of our users in cold wallets with multi-sig, etc. So you know that they are never actually on the internet, whatever.
As well.
There we are, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all our panelists and Victoria, our moderator.